What's up, everybody? This is Ray, of course you know. And I don't know what I'm doing. Not the hoodie tucked in like it's football season. Oh, man. All right, let me get together. All right. What's up, y'all? Y'all know who this is. My name is Ray. Another episode of Thoughts by Ray, Sports by Ray, the Ray Rob Report, all of that good stuff. I wanted to just get this in. First of all, it's the end of Lent. Lent ended Thursday. 40 days. I gave up sweets. That included like syrup, any kind of candy bars, specifically syrup, cakes, all that good stuff. No pizza, no alcohol, no hookah. And I can say I went through some crazy stuff that I wanted to do all that stuff, but I didn't. I'm not saying it as a reward, but I mean, hey, man, it was cool to go through. I want to get on here real quick because we all know the playoffs are about to start in the NBA. So I'm about to get right to it. I'm just about to pick. The first series that we got is the Bucks and the Pacers. Of course, Giannis, my favorite player. Dame's been injured. He's been cleared to play. Hopefully he may come back in this series. The Pacers did beat the Bucks last year when they were depleted. I don't see that happening this year. I see the Bucks winning in 6. It's going to be a tough fought series. Maybe they get Dame back by game 4. And it provides a little boost for them. And he gets his working shape in. After that, we go to a very intriguing one, which is the LA Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets. So we saw what happened. It's a lot of crazy stuff that happened this year with coaches. The blaming of Russ at this point is so crazy. And I mean, we're at a stage where this in society, I mean, people believe what they want to believe, and I understand that, but the way y'all be shitting on Russ, like, he's not without his flaws, and he does make some plays that make you go crazy. And I'm a Russ fan, I get it. But y'all, I mean, the media, the way they paint him out to be, opposed to what it actually is, not to eliminate plays and stuff like that. I mean, like y'all playing with people's lives, and it's just like it's at a point where it's okay. Like there's other players on that team that should be held more responsible than Russ. Russ he came in on the veterans minimum. He's supposed to be at best an addition if they were lucky, and he's exceeded that. If any, man, a lot of them don't be playing hard. That's what it is. That's why Joker got a problem with them. Some of them been injured, some of them been out, and they know who they are. I don't care. They know who they are. But it's easy to blame Russ. When somebody working hard and you see somebody else not working hard, the person that don't work hard always got a problem with the person that works hard. So y'all do with that what y'all want. The Clippers, I mean, it's always been if they're healthy. Well, until they're not healthy, they healthy right now. And Kawhi is getting to it. James, we gonna see. I know that's the biggest question. I want to see Russ win. Almost because like the Clips is almost like the Clips played him. The Clips are balling. And then they brought in James, and then you may put Russ at this other position. But in the last year's playoffs, Russ was their best player by far. When everybody's injured, it's cool. But anyway, you know what? Let's just stay strictly to business right now. I'll go on my rants and raves that I have about just how people act. Anyway, I have the Clippers in 5. The Joker gonna ball out. I think that we're going to see what happens when one side plays hard and the other side doesn't play hard. And then it's going to all come falling down. Denver may have the best player in the series. The Clips got the next three: Kawhi, Norman Powell, and James Harden. So I got the Clips in 5. And then one of the more intriguing series as well, then we got Detroit versus New York. You know, it's always been a thing. I got Detroit in 7. And this is going to get Tom Thibodeau out of here. I know people have been saying it. I mean, you got a talented squad and you got a bench. I mean, like, I don't get it. I mean, but a lot of people don't like to change their ways, but when you've had a situation where you've had something about you, I mean, whether it's fair or unfair, I mean, I guess I could say that about Russ, but I don't agree with all the Russ stuff. But when it comes to Thibodeau, he plays his players too much, and he doesn't play his bench, and he grinds them to the ground. Coming into the season, there was a lot of optimism that they can go to the Eastern Conference Finals, possibly the Finals. But he keeps running them into the ground, and he's done it with every team that he's with. Players always complain about it, and it's like, well, he only knows one way. And so, man, they're getting burnt out on that shit. So I think it all comes to a head here. I know New York should win. If New York wins, they win in 5. But I'm going to have Detroit, who should not win. They're going to end up winning. They got Durant. They got Duran. I'm sorry if I said homie's name wrong, number 0. And then they also got Stewart, a.k.a. I'm always ready. It ain't all about basketball. And they got depth. They got a Sora Thompson, who's a menace. They got Jade, and of course they got Kade Kuninga. That's my homeboy say, Cade Cunningham. And I think New York should win, but Detroit is going to win. And they're going to win in 7. These are the games for today. And then you got Minnesota and LA. I get LA in 5. The karma of trading Cat away is going to come. This would be, if they had Cat, I would pick Minnesota in 6. Even though Minnesota's playing better and everything like that. But give me LA in 5. Let's go to Sunday. You got the Memphis Grizzlies versus the OKC Thunder. This goes 6. I'm going to give it to OKC. Ja ain't going out like that in the playoffs, but he is going, his ankle a little sore, so Ja not going out like that. Playoff Ja don't be playing. But OKC's deep. They're on a mission. They take out the Grizzlies in 6. Boston, Orlando. I got Boston in a sweep. Orlando, they might be able to get a gentleman's sweep. They got the talent, but they just ain't ready yet. That size, they ain't playing. They got length and all that, but they go through lows of scoring, and they need somebody that can make them go. And they don't have that. They got people that can go, but they, as initiators, and I feel like they have the bigs. I really wish De'Aaron Fox would have came here. Of course, I mean, I know he's perfect with Wemby, but they need somebody like that, like a Josh Giddey. They need, I wish Alonzo Ball was healthy. They need somebody that will just put them in the right positions. They got people that could do it a little bit, but they need that engine so they can go ahead and see their potential. But yeah, I got Boston sweeping Orlando. Miami, Cleveland, because Miami's tough. I'll give them one game against Cleveland. Cleveland is going to they play defense like Miami can play defense. And so I'm going to give Hero one game where he goes off. But I'm going to give Cleveland the nod 4-1. And then this series right here, I've been going back and forth because, I'm usually the person that likes to pick who people don't think is going to win. But then I like like to rock with people and teams like scouts do before you see it, and then once they come to the surface and everybody gets hit to them, I just kind of fade in the back because I could say something about a team or somebody a year ago, and then nobody pays attention to me, and then they get popping, and then somebody says something, and then I was like, yeah, I said that a year ago. I've been going through it my whole life. I'm just one of them, so just underappreciated with what I know, and I've accepted it. But also, I want to respect Golden State. It's like, so the experience factors tells me that Golden State is going to win. But for me, like I'm leaning to Golden State going to win, but this is I feel, I ain't going to lie, I'm like 56-44 with it. But my new favorite player has been Amen Thompson. And somebody online, I forget who they said he was like the new Kawhi. He like the new Kawhi with yoppers, you know what I'm saying, with hops. And they right. The best player, I mean, you got Steph Curry and you got Jimmy Butler. If you look at that playing game against Memphis, if Ja, all that, they both balled. If Ja don't get injured, Golden State don't win that game. And then you got Houston, who nobody's stopping Şengün. You got a world champion in Van Fleet. You got the best player right now. Well, I mean, it's almost between Jalen Green and Şengün, but really the best player is Amen Thompson. And if he exerts, he just has to make himself known. If you come out saying like, man, Amen Thompson, they're going to win in 6. So, me feeling like I'm trying to be non-biased, like I want to say Golden State is going to win, but give me Houston in 6. They got the bodies. You got Van Fleet. You got Green. You got Dylan Brooks. You got Amen Thompson. You got Tari Eason. You got Whitmore. You got a bunch of people, Jabari's in there like that can just, they can't stop Steph. Even though I know it was one game, but I saw that one game. I was watching it a little bit. Let me not lie. I seen it. I didn't study it. They got people that can make Steph's life tough, and not only Steph's life tough, everybody else. Because everybody else can't get loose. Because usually, the focus goes on Steph and then everybody else is getting open. But they got that type of defense. And they got Ime Udoka, who he wants some get back after that loss in the 2022 finals. He never got to get back. All that stuff happened and they blamed it on him, whatever, in Boston. We don't know the whole story, but whatever. Like, he wants to outcoach Steve Kerr. He wants this. So, Rockets in 6. To talk about Justin Fields, I'll continue to say it's crazy. I go and say the same things a lot because I need, it's repetitive. Justin Fields, he'll finally have almost even playing field. Now, life ain't fair, but he about to get as fair as life as he's going to get to the next level. And let's just see what he does, because every time he's been given the short end of the stick, and everybody knows it, and the same grace that they give other people that don't have the short end of the stick, they don't give him, and that's cool. That's how the world goes. So it's going to be sweeter when he overcomes it. I see that people been talking about, as far as the greatest and all that shit. I want to say this about the top 10 in basketball. I take out all big men because big men don't get treated equal. They don't get treated equal. People throw in Kareem, and he's well-deserved. First, it was Kareem, Wilt, and Bill Russell. And then most of us haven't seen them play, but you keep them in there for respect. And a lot of times people keep them in there for argumentative purposes. Jordan can't be the greatest because if it's about rings, Bill Russell got 11. Okay. So it's not about the rings when it comes to like LeBron and Jordan, but it was about the rings when it was Kobe and Mike. And when you talk about like Elijah Wan and stuff like that, who's the most disrespected greatest player ever. They don't mention his stats, but with other players, the first thing they mention is stats. So it's like a contradiction with all the arguments you have. And then if you want to talk about the greatest power forwards, like KG, who's this one, like, well, Kobe's the most disrespected greatest player. Elijah Wan's 2. KG's in my top 3, top 5. Because the first thing they'll say is he only got 1 ring. And then they'll argue against with LeBron and Kobe, and then they'll talk about head-to-head records, how LeBron got the better of him in the regular season. But then I bring in postseason because people put Tim Duncan over Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, when he played, is 4-2 versus Tim Duncan with 1 sweep and 2 4-1s. And then they'll say he played with Shaq. But they don't mention Tim Duncan never had a losing season. He had a better organization. This is just what I'm stating. He played with another finals MVP and Tony Parker, arguably the greatest 6 man of all time, and Manu Ginobili, and a former MVP, and David Robinson. Oh, yeah. And a defensive player of the year in Kawhi Leonard, and a finals MVP in Kawhi Leonard. Magic played with Kareem. Like, we go all down that road. But it's been embedded that Kobe played with Shaq, so his shit don't count. But they count everybody else's, but they don't count his. You see what I'm saying? So it's so many contradictions. I know I'm just going back and forth. It's just, so I always said the 5 best players to me is, in no particular order, Kobe, Magic, Mike, LeBron, and Larry Bird. Debate them 5. Any one of them, if you say they're the greatest, I understand. And I've been fighting this. And I always, I give it to Mike. But, why do I got to give it to Mike? If you feel he is, I guess I came to the realization, I was like, damn, I think Kobe is the best player I've ever seen. Not the most talented. He ain't got the most accolades, but maybe because of how he was in our age range and how people hated him because he wanted to be like Mike, like everybody wanted to be like Mike. And I didn't see him as with the athletic gifts that like the other people that are in there that are argued against when it comes to him. And the shit that he went through, some self-inflicted, most of it media. And then, he did shit, when he played, nobody ever said that he was top 5, top 7. It was he better than Mike? And all those same greats was all during that, I lived during that time. He might be. He's the only one. Now, that's not to say LeBron ain't. If you feel like LeBron is, by all means, but the way the media and certain people just try to just downplay, and then when athletes try to tell you that he is, the way they just throw shade on it, it's like when it comes, like Isaiah Thomas, Kobe Bryant, and Kevin Durant can never be considered the best at anything. If you don't believe me, bring up a discussion and say something that you feel they're the best at. And then bring up some other discussions with other people. The pushback will be minimal. Excuse me. But with those 3 people, they can't never just be the best. Even though they are the best at certain things. And that's because, that's what media did, man. And people just be following that shit. Not to say, a lot of things we only got to go off of as media, but you also have common sense and do your research and kind of look at things and make your own assessments. And those 3, whenever somebody, he's the best at this, and then it's always, well, he was only this. Like, what the hell? Why just him? Also Russ too, but Russ is he's not on that tier with them, but like Russ, triple-double didn't matter with Russ. They were being manufactured. But when a 6'10", 3-time MVP gets it and has the same kind of team that Russ had, well, actually his team is way more talented than Russ when Russ was getting those triple-doubles. It's lauded, which means it should have been lauded the whole time. They, just like when Justin Fields was playing last year, there was video every week of him missing a read. Quarterbacks miss reads all the time. Once he went to the bench, there was not any diagrams on television about that shit. When Russ was having his triple doubles, people broke down rebounds. I have not seen one breakdown of Jokic when he ever got a triple double. And people just feed into that shit. Shit pisses me off. Excuse me for my language, but that's just how I feel. I just had to get some of this off my mind. Y'all have a great Easter weekend, the playoffs, and let's talk about, I watch wrestling too. So, Jey Uso will become the world champion. He's going to beat Gunther or Walter. Let's see, who else? Seth Rollins is going to win, and he's going to walk out with the wise man. That's going to be the favor. That the wise man is going to cross both of them. And Seth is due, because Seth done took a lot of losses that he didn't have to put people over, and it might be his time. You know what I'm saying? He's really this age heartbreak kid. He carries the business, but when he's on top, it's like, damn, because it's almost like it's a story to get him there. You know what I'm saying? Because he does so much. I'm just going through a couple. Naomi is going to beat Jade. I don't know how. I just hope they don't squash Naomi, because that'd be messed up. I think there's a way that Naomi wins while making Jade still look strong. But probably what's going to happen is Naomi is going to lose, because Jade ain't really lost like that ever. So, but I'm going to pick Naomi to win. John Cena is going to beat Cody. There's going to be some kind of trickery that comes out of that. Some kind of plot twist. Bianca Belair rightfully should win. And they're going to start booing her. And, they can't really do a heel turn with her right now, even though it's leading towards it, because John Cena's heel turn. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe they do it at SummerSlam. I think Tiffany's going to beat Charlotte. It's going to be a good match, and I hope whatever that is, it just stays in the ring, And those are just some of my picks, man. Thank y'all for kicking it with me, man. See y'all soon.